Hello and welcome to the Avatar Sethi show. I am Dr. Avatar Singh Sethi and with me is Neha Kumar. Last time in the series of IELTS without tears, we talked about letter writing. So we'll continue with letter writing. In the last episode, we told you what to write and how to write, what care should be taken to write a good letter. Today we'll take you to the class and we'll give you an example of a letter which has appeared in the exam. So we will do that. Neha will be our teacher today and I will be a student like you. So Neha, what are you going to tell us today?
So today I'm going to teach you a letter. We have talked in the previous series of ours. If you have not watched, so please watch that to have the more insight about it. And now we are going to teach how to write a letter in a practical way. So I will be the teacher, and sir will be acting as a student. And so we will having a class on letter writing. So you can just see that.
So let's go over to the class.
Yes, of course. A letter writing. As we know that letter writing is a task 1. General task 1 is our letter writing. It is a 20 minutes task and the word count is 150 to 180 words. The types of letter that we get in our IELTS exams are of 3 types. The very first is your formal letter. The letter that you write to a person who you don't know in person, but you know that he is a company manager, CEO, but you actually don't know the name of the person. That is a formal letter. Semi-formal letter is another letter in which we actually know the name of a person, but we share a very formal relationship with that person. The third type of letter, that is an informal letter. This letter is always written to a friend or a family member. Now, let's come to our next topic, which is a structure of a letter writing. A letter writing has a very fixed and a defined structures in IELTS. If you need to write a letter, you should know the do's and the don'ts of the letters as well. The very first thing that you remember should be that all the letters should start with a salutation. Salutation is a way that we address to a person. When we say dear sir, dear madam, then this comes under salutation. Secondly, you will mention the purpose of the letter. That why this comes under an introductory statement, that why are you writing this letter? This is the purpose of a letter, your introduction. The third step is covering of all the bullet points in your body paragraph. There are bullet points given in your letter. You need to cover them. All the bullet points should be covered in your letter writing in a concise and in a very precise way in your body paragraphs. The fourth step is a closing statement. You will write a closing statement, that what are your takeaways and what are your expectations in a letter. And the fifth step is a sign off. You just say yours faithfully or yours faithfully, yours sincerely. This comes under the sign off. So this is how we structure our IELTS letter. So you should remember these 5 structures. Another thing that we should know is how very important is how to plan your letter. Letter planning is very important step in writing a letter. If you don't plan your letter, you will end up by writing or scribbling lot of things what you have written, because there are the bullet points that you need to cover. You will not be sure of how to structure them. So always spend 5 minutes in planning your letter. While planning, you should first read the question carefully. And while reading the question, while understanding the question, you should also ask yourself what type of letter you need to write. Would you be writing a formal, informal, or a semi-formal? You should know that what form of letter you are going to write. What are the bullet points that you need to be covered while writing your letter writing? Brainstorm on the information and then expand your bullet points. So while you are planning, you should keep all these 3 points into your mind. Now, another thing is how to score a good band. As we have already talked about, that band descriptor chart is very important. You should, for scoring a good band in your letter for 6, 7 plus, you should address all the part of the task and present a very clear position. You should use a good range of vocabulary and should not repeat the words. So this comes under flexibility of words. You should use a wide range of structures, complex structures, compound structures. Do not give just one common simple sentences. Expand your sentences. Then a good cohesive device like furthermore, moreover, however, you are just your ideas are flowing into one into the another. That is very important part of a letter writing. This is one sample letter which I am I will be explaining and teaching you over here. Now, these are the instructions that are given. Suppose I have a letter. I have to say you have experienced some issues with a colleague who started working at your company. You read to write a letter to your manager. In your letter, explain what are the issues are, describe how other colleagues feel, suggest how to resolve this issue. Now, if you see, this is your question. This here from this question, understand the question that you have experienced some issue and you need to write under it to your company head. So that means it is a semi-formal letter. While it is a semi-formal letter, because you know the name of a person, the name of a company head. So that is why it comes under a semi-formal letter. We should remember that while we are writing, we should be very careful about this thing that what letter that I am going to write. So I am going to write a semi-formal letter because it is a letter to the head of my company and I'm facing an issue with my colleague. Now after, and my purpose is this one. What is the purpose of writing? The purpose of the writing comes from the question itself. Now these are the bullet points that I will be covering in my body paragraphs. After writing the purpose, I will write down my body paragraphs. I should write each bullet point into the separate body paragraph. So the first bullet point, what the issues are, I'll brainstorm my ideas on this. Second is how other colleagues feel. I will write about, brainstorm the ideas, give how the other people feel. The third is suggest how to resolve the issue. Here I will be giving 1 to 2 issues. Then I will write my closing statement, that what I am expecting after writing this letter. This is called a closing statement. After writing my closing statement, there comes my sign off. After writing this, I will sign off this letter as my yours sincerely, and then I will write my name under it. So this is how we write a letter. I hope that you all understand this. Thank you.
So, friends, you have seen how to write a letter. You have seen the example also, and what care should be taken to write a good letter and score a good band in letter writing. And you look up in the comment box below. And if you want to give us a comment, please do that. And we'll also provide you a PDF file on the letter writing, and you can practice. And if you have not seen the earlier episode, then please see the earlier episode and then you watch this, so that you are sure how to go about writing a good letter and score a good band. So friends, if you have not subscribed our channel, do it now and press the bell icon, like and share it, and we'll be back with you again in the next episode on IELTS without tears. Thank you very much.